I'm ready to roll. So I'm excited.
All right, before we go live, real quick here.
Well, we're going to get started right away then.
Okay, never mind. Go for it. Never mind. I'll ask you.
All right. We'll get right into it. We are back on another Wisco Fanatics Wednesday. We're very excited. We have another awesome guest with us today. We have Cole LaCrue with us, 2023 Badgers commit. Got a whole bunch of questions to ask for you, so we're really excited to have you here with us and appreciate you taking the time to join us. So how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. And today's been a great day. It's officially became a Badger Day. Signing day was today. So, man, it's been a lifelong dream of mine to play college football and to be a Badger. It's something special.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So I saw that you were visiting the Broncos this past weekend. How was that?
It was good. They honored us. We won state about 2 weeks ago on the 3rd, and it was cool. I've been a lifelong Broncos fan my entire life. That's the team that I was raised on. But we've had a couple down years, so just to see us get a win over a poor Cardinals team was good.
Let's ride.
Who's your favorite?
I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't want to hear that as a Broncos fan.
Oh,
I had to, man.
That's fair. That's 100% fair.
All right. So I see your swag on the field, man, and I appreciate it. I'm very excited for that to be in this red pretty soon here. But with that being said, from your junior year to your senior year, you took control. Where does that leadership come from?
It comes from my parents, man. It comes from the way they brought me up as a kid. My parents got divorced when I was 7 years old, and it kind of had me grow up earlier than most kids had to. And I've always had it in me. I've always prioritized myself for being a leader. And so, it comes down to being I think at the end of the day, a leader is really just like an older brother. They have to guide everyone, and they're got to show them the way. And so, being the oldest of three, it definitely has always been there in me. And so for me to take initiative for my junior to senior year, it just shows all my character work and all my leadership skills that have been with me since both my brothers have been born.
perfect. Yeah, it was it's great that you said that, actually, because I actually want to go back to, your state championship run. It was a heck of a walk-off. And afterwards, you mentioned that, you were quoted saying this one is for Pops. Going to that, what is your dad's impact on you, on the field? And to go off of that, what is something that, he taught you maybe that will always stick or resonate with you on the field or in life in general, I guess?
Yeah. So with my dad, he was my first ever coach, man. He's the reason I am the player I am today. I honor all my success to him. And with him, man, it was from the moment I was born. We would watch Broncos games. We would watch film when I was even younger. I remember he'd bring a little camera and he'd be like, all right, this is what you messed up here. This is what you got to do then. And so I just remember from a young age, he taught me on my football intellect. And so I think that advanced my skill set from a young age because I felt like I was always IQ-wise better than most kids on the field. And, he watched my sophomore year. I transferred to a new school my sophomore year, and he was there to watch me play my first game. And I remember I didn't start my first game. I was me and this junior were rotating. Well, not for long. But he went in for 2 drives, and I remember my dad seeing I was pissed. He goes, "Calm down. You're gonna get your opportunity. You're gonna make the most of it." And I had 4 touchdowns, and as a sophomore, I think we won 28-14 against our rival off the bench. So it was definitely awesome. And so I think it's just the calm and the knowing that he's always going to be there with me. I think that's something that I always take there with me, because I know when I make a mistake, I could hear him in his head calling me, what are you doing? Why would you make that throw? Come on, let's move forward. Like a bright memory of him is in 7th grade, I broke my wrist, completely snapped it. And I remember we put it in an ice bucket and taped up my whole hand into a little club. And this is my right hand, so I can't do much without it. And he said, just get out there and play defense. And so it was just that kind of mentality that I've kept with me from that point on where, I just have to be tougher than everyone else, man. And no matter how injured or how hurt I am, if I'm the leader, if I'm the guy of the team, I'm not coming out of the game.
Perfect. That was a great answer. Gritty. very gritty, I feel like, too.
Yeah, it's part of the business, man. Part of playing the quarterback position.
That's awesome. So like,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
so I watched some of your other interviews, and we, like with our show, we prioritize optimism and positivity because we want to potentially help the mental health of our fans and fans of the same fan bases that we're a part of. So we wanted to ask, like, how do you protect / take care of your mental health to help maintain your confidence?
You know, at the end of the day, in my eyes, mental health is a huge part of any person's confidence. And for me, it's always remembering that you got to remember what your self-worth is. You know, you can't listen to the critics. You can't listen to what everyone's saying about you. Oh, he didn't make this play. Oh, he's not that good. Oh, he's too short. All that. And at the end of the day, you got to realize what your self-worth is. And for me, I went through a big mental cycle, you know, this past year in baseball because I had a pretty big slump, and I was seeing a sports psychiatrist. And I just remember him telling me, he's like, hey, at the end of the day, you got to realize there's only one LaCrue, and you're that guy. And you got to be that guy for, you know, you just got to trust yourself. And ever since then, you know, I don't let pressure get to me. I said, okay, I threw a mistake. All right, that's cool. I'm going to go drive and score a touchdown this next one. Or in baseball, it's like, okay, I just lined out. Let's go make a line drive, and let's go get on base and score our guys a run. So, you know, I've always been a team-oriented guy. And just the mental part of the game, I'm glad that people are shining bright on it because I don't think us as players get enough credit for what we have to deal with. You know, there's a lot of critics out there that are very disrespectful and a lot of comments to say, but you know, it's part of the business, and so I'm glad that the light's being shined on right now.
Man, you're a very fascinating kid. I'm learning very quickly here. I just wanted to know, you know, because I'm gonna have to know in a couple of years with my stepson, who's a very athletic kid, and I'm gonna have to know what to expect in the recruiting process. So, can you tell me what that was like?
Yeah, I think mine's been rather unique than a lot of other guys. So it dates back to my sophomore year. I thought I had an okay sophomore year. You know, it was my first real year playing quarterback position only. I've only been playing quarterback since my freshman year. And so started then. I got reached out from Cal and Cincinnati. And then I just kind of talked to them for a little bit, not much. And then I did a couple camps, talked to CU and CSU for a long time. And then junior year, you know, it sucks when you have a team that's not good. We were 5-6, and you know, even though I put up good numbers, I until this year, until my senior season, I broke every school record for single season stats. And so for me, you know, not much after that either, because I only had Central Michigan was the only FBS I had, and I had 2 FCS schools, Northern Colorado and South Dakota. But I knew what I was, and I knew I was a Power 5 quarterback. So I kind of bet on myself. You know, I Central Michigan gave me like an ultimatum. They're like, "Hey, you're either going to commit or we're going to go get another guy." I said, "Go get another guy because I'm about to go bigger than you." And so obviously I bet on myself. And to be honest, I was scared during there's always pressure throughout the season, but I always play better with pressure. And then Colorado offered me. And then it was like 1, 2, 3. You know, Colorado offered on a Thursday, Tulane offered on a Saturday, and Wisconsin offered on a Monday. But with Wisconsin, they early in the season, I was talking to them since August. They're like, hey, you got a lot of stuff to work on. We want to see improvement because we think you have the trajectory to be our quarterback. I go, sounds good. I'll show you what I can do then. And I just went out and played my game. And once Wisconsin offered me on Halloween, I was sitting there. I was like, I told you so. I told you I'd be a quarterback. And then I committed them on the following Monday in honor of my dad. And so, yeah, but that was the recruiting process. And for kids, that I'd say the best thing to do is to call offices and to, you know, they don't realize that that's probably the best way to get on the phone with the office lady and kind of be like, hey, here's my information. I'd please love you to forward it. And, you know, that's kind of how I got on the word on the mouth with everyone else, because I would just call everyone in Twitter, email, everything.
Bill loved that answer for sure. He said that's classic. Go get another guy because I'm going bigger than you. Bill loves it.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So yeah, to build off of that, you know, you're having a big senior year. And then all of a sudden you got some of the Power Fives coming in, obviously Tulane, Colorado, and Wisconsin, of course. So, at the end of the day, why did you, it could be a list of things, I'm sure. Why did you end up, choosing Wisconsin? And maybe on top of that, did the news of Deion Sanders getting the head coaching job at Colorado intrigue you at all whatsoever?
Yeah.
I saw the smile perk
Wisconsin.
up. I saw it.
Yeah, I saw. So what made me pick Wisconsin was when I went out there for the Washington State game. It was so pretty. I didn't know much about Madison as a town. I didn't even realize the Capitals were right on campus. And for me, that was huge. And it reminded me a lot about Boulder and a lot about Colorado because I was raised as a Buff. My first ever song was the Buffs fight song, except the explicit version. And so for me, it was it made me feel at home. And then especially experiencing Camp Randall and jump around, that's really what sealed the deal. And I was really like, okay, if I get this offer, I'm going to Wisconsin. And with the Deion news, there was definitely some thought because obviously we were going through a coaching change with Coach Fickell, and that had me worried a little bit for about 2 days because I didn't know what would happen until they reached back out and said, "Hey, we want you to be a quarterback. We love your film. Go win a state championship, but then in January you're going to come be our quarterback." I said, "Sounds good." With Deion, there was definitely some talk around it, but at the end of the day, I made my mind that Madison's the place for me.
Good stuff.
Taylor said, "Welcome to Wisconsin." So you did 2 different visits at Wisconsin. Like one was unofficial and one was official. Like what were your college visits like, and what was the difference between the 2?
Yeah, so my first one, it was an unofficial, and I was with my grandpa, which I love my grandpa. Just probably not the guy I would take with me to a recruiting visit again. Just because he was tired and we didn't really know what to experience because I was new and he was new, so I didn't know the area. And so with him, we just kind of walked around and saw everything else. The old coach staff, they gave me a tour of the facilities and not a really big tour on the campus. And so my official, it was much more information throughout. I saw a lot of places, saw the place I'm going to live at next month. And I learned more about the university because at the end of the day, you're a student athlete. And so I learned more about the program I'll be in. I got accepted to their business program. And it was just much better. Plus, I think Coach Longo, the new OC, he fits my scheme a lot better. He fits the style of quarterback that I am. Much better than Coach Ingram. No offense to Coach Ingram. It's just what fits me better in my eyes. So at the end of the day, it all worked out. But the official visit was definitely 100 times better.
Man. You're a smart kid, man. You got a good head on your shoulders, man. I could tell. I'm just wondering, who is your host player?
Ooh, I forget his name. Hold on, let me go look at it real fast.
Hey,
I'll go pick it up.
You're not going to get anything from me. I forget names every day, man.
No, I do. Isaac Townsend. He's a kid that went to Austin Valley, and he was from Colorado. So cool. For us, we just kind of hit it off, and he took me, I experienced the nightlife a little bit and just kind of hung out with the current players. And so it was a good time.
Very nice.
Perfect. All right. Perfect. So I guess, you're talking about the new coaching staff already with Coach Longo. I mean, what was your first impression of Coach Fickell once you first got to meet him?
Yeah, man, I'm excited that I stayed on board, and I'm excited that he's the guy that's going to lead us. Everyone I talk to says there's no other man that would have beat Jim Leonard except Coach Fickell. And when I hopped on the phone, I was kind of skeptical. I'm like, there's no way, Coach. Like every time I talk to Coach Leonard, I got this great sense of a man. And Coach Fickell just you could just hear it in his voice. You could just hear it in his tone. He's a guy that he's a player's coach, and he's a family guy. He's a family oriented guy. But at the end of the day, he means business, and we're gonna go win it. We're gonna win some games. And with him, I just loved the leadership, and I loved the vision that he had, and I loved how he called it the new era. And so I was actually pumped up when I heard him talk for the first time. I was like, okay, this dude's legit, and I'm ready to go play for him. So there was no regret once I talked to Coach Fickell, and you guys are going to love him next year when we go win some games.
We already do.
We love him already, yeah.
We already do, man.
I'm fired up by hearing that, that's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So you kind of touched on it already that you get to see your living quarters for next month. So you're actually starting at Wisconsin early. So what are some of the things you're looking forward to about getting to school early? And then have you set any goals for yourself for spring practice?
Yeah. So things I'm looking forward to. My roommate's Jason Arnold, so I'm looking forward to getting him know better, and hopefully we get a relationship started between him and I that just lasts a long time, and a little brotherhood with him. And for myself, some goals of mine, I want to come in and compete. I want to come in and shock the Wisconsin fan base, shock the staff, shock the current players. Because when I'm coming in, I mean business. And I got to go do what I have to do. Obviously at the end of the day, Wisconsin's, it's a university and it's a great football team. But I want to go leave my impact on the school and on the brand. And so obviously I want to come in and just kind of shock people and take them by surprise. Like, holy shit, my bad. I didn't mean to cut.
Hey, dude.
No,
it's okay. We're not censored.
Be your natural self. Be your natural self.
Be
That's
you.
all we want.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what kind of show
like,
I won't tell your mom, I promise.
She'll see this later and laugh at me. But so I just want to be the type of player like, who is this kid and how did this kid fly under the radar? Because I do think I'm heavily underrated. So that's something I'm looking forward to, and just getting to know the guys and show them my leadership skills, and hopefully put myself in a good spot to come start next August.
It's an awesome answer. I love that answer.
I gotta tell you, man, you are a very competitive kid, and you talked about how fickle is a player's coach, and that's definitely the kind of coach I'd want to play for. And you're definitely the kind of quarterback I'd want to block for if I was your offensive lineman, because I can just tell how much you care about the team and you care about winning. And I love that. I do. I absolutely love every bit of that. So, I know that you love team, but we're going to talk about you. I want to know what your goals are for your first year in the program. Like, what is going to be Cole LaCrue year one?
Definitely, I want to master the playbook, and I want to, understand the way college football works and understand the life of a student athlete. Because I feel like, high school to college it's very different. There's no saying that, because I feel like, in college, you're going to school like 3 hours a day, but you're at the facility 4 hours a day. And that's something I'm not used to, because, my whole life it's been I go to school for the entire day and then I go to practice for an hour and a half. And so, it's definitely going to be a switch. I definitely want to put on more muscle. I want to get more lean and fast. I want to become a better athlete and just more explosive all around, because I think if I gain that, I think that's just another tool in my package that I can bring to the table. And, I want to come out. I want to go out and I want to go play as a freshman. Hopefully, I understand we have some guys ahead of me and we have some guys that are older than me. But that's not going to I'm not going to shy away from that. I'm excited about it, and it's just going to make me better going against those guys. So it's definitely going to be exciting. And if I somehow don't win the job, if I don't win it, I'll be disappointed in myself. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to let that affect my attitude and let that affect how I am with the team. I'm gonna be the best teammate for everyone, and I'm gonna be the best guy for whoever's the starting quarterback. But I want to put myself in a good position where I'm the one succeeding, I'm the one celebrating the touchdowns.
So if you let me just kind of build off of that for a second. If you say you're the number one backup, are you always going to have that mentality like a lot of backup quarterbacks have? I'm only one play away from being the starter. Is that still going to be your mindset?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously you have to. You can't go in there being, I hope I don't play this game. I hope he doesn't get hurt. Well, not that. I don't mean it like that, but I'm just saying, like, I hope, like, I don't have to go in. But for me, it's like, okay, he won the job now, but what can happen in 4 weeks,
Yep.
And for me, I'm just always going to go out and compete and always go put my best foot down.
That's good. I'm going to toss in a fan question real quick. My friend Cody asked, which NFL player would you say you look up to the most?
This is a hard question, because in today's day and age, there's just so many quarterbacks that I really like following. So for me, the one guy that I've always inspired, I'm out of my play after him, but I love the way he is as a human being. I love the way he has his quarterback position is Peyton Manning. I might be a little biased saying that because I'm a Broncos fan, but he is the reason I chose 18. He's the guy that I've watched since I was young. Every time he was on the Colts and he played the Broncos, I'd be secretly being like, yes, attaboy, nice touchdown. But Peyton's just a guy that I love his character and I love his leadership and I love the way he prepares himself for a game, because you're never going to out prepare Peyton Manning, and that's the way I've always thought about myself. But in terms of like modeling my game and other stuff, like I'm out of my game off Johnny Manziel and John Elway. Kind of that gunslinger, gonna kind of make the off balance throws and kind of just take over a game with their playmaking abilities and never really be out of a game. I'm a guy that I love being the comeback kid.
Perfect. Yeah, that was a great answer. So we were just talking about the whole like being your goals and competition and all that jazz. How do you just in general, how do you feel about the competition in the quarterback room? Obviously, you got Nick Evers signing, but and then you also obviously got Miles Burkett. How do you feel about the camaraderie, the competition with you three guys?
I think us three, just with the competition, we're all going to get better. It's going to push ourselves forward and to put our best foot down. And I think we'll see there'll definitely be some little rivalry, but at the end of the day, we're all going to be brothers because we want the guy to succeed, whoever's at the starting position. And I've watched both their tapes. They're great players, man. And Nick's a stud who went to Oklahoma. I mean, shoot, when I was younger, I thought Oklahoma was the place because of Baker Mayfield. So that's definitely something I'll talk to him about. And then Miles is the Wisconsin kid, so he knows more about the town and know more about the state than I do. So I'll definitely lean on his shoulder with that. And so, it's definitely going to be good to see one of us three get playing time. We're all our room will be young next year, but I think we'll have one of the most talented rooms in the country.
Oh, awesome! That's good.
I concur.
Dude, your confidence is just, my God, it's infectious, man.
So you kind of touched on it already with Johnny Manziel. I wanted to ask you specifically about that. So, if you say the words Johnny Manziel, might be a little bit of like a negative connotation to that because he came into the NFL and was kind of gone out of the NFL really quick. But what specifically is it about Johnny Manziel, and then what kind of separates it from that, that first thought where it might be like, oh, Johnny Manziel, I don't like that answer, but would be different.
Well, people forget that in college, Johnny Manziel was the truth. He was him. I mean, Johnny Manziel and moneymaker. With Johnny, he's a young kid. I remember people forget that he was a redshirt freshman when he started, or a true freshman. I forget. But he led the Texas A&M, who was new to the SEC, and he made them a winning program again and made them known in the SEC. And so, that's the leadership and that's the moxie, and I just love the swagger that he brings, man. He didn't care who you were; he was going to go out and play his game, and I just loved how he didn't care who he was going against. He wouldn't let anyone change the way he plays, and anyone change the way his heart is for the game, and just the skills that he had I think I have a lot of the similar skills, but hopefully I want to be more improved than him as a passer, and just get even better than him as a runner.
Man, when I heard, you talk about Johnny Manziel, I loved Johnny Manziel at Texas A&M. I was one of the few people I was like, dude, this kid is special. He's making shit happen. His ability to extend plays, like it's like no other in the country. You bring that aspect to a Wisconsin football team that's going to play some goddamn defense. Oh, I tell you what, I'm smelling a national title, and I'm not even kidding. So I wanted to ask you a question about what you think about USC and UCLA coming to the Big Ten, and you could talk more about USC if you want, because they're kind of becoming a powerhouse again. They almost made the playoffs this year, and now they're having a crazy recruiting class today. So what are your thoughts on USC and UCLA joining the Big Ten?
It's definitely going to be good for me because it'll bring me back home a little bit and, kind of back to the West Coast. And it's exciting, man. Why would we be scared about some competition? USC, Lincoln Riley, one of probably the best offensive coaches in the country. And then UCLA, you got Chip Kelly, who coached the Mariota and led an Oregon team, and UCLA is back on the rise. So there's definitely going to be competition with them, but man, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be great playing them and hopefully ending their seasons. But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be really exciting playing them, and it's going to be super fun. I'm glad that they joined.
Yeah. So what would you say, and maybe disregard Camp Randall here if you can, But what stadium are you most excited to play in? It's okay if you say the camp because you haven't played a game there yet.
Oh,
but
the shoe.
what would you
The
say?
shoe.
Okay,
Oh boy. And you're
I
gonna
wanna play the
you're gonna
shoe.
leave with a W. I know it.
that's
I
what
feel
I'm
it.
saying. Yeah, there we
That's
go.
the point. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's that's some place that my buddy who I've known since I was born practically. He visited them this past year. Went to a game out there. And he says there's nothing like it. So I'm just excited to go out there and shut them up.
Oh
my-
hell yeah!
Where do I get a Cole LaCrue jersey? I'm already on board, man.
Get
So
that
I
NIL
hear.
going.
Yeah.
So I've seen you pretty active on Twitter, and a lot of guys that are getting offered at Wisconsin, and guys that are, that are making their their final recruiting in Wisconsin, and they're picking up offers and stuff. Did you kind of take it upon yourself to kind of start helping with recruiting?
Yeah, I mean, as the quarterback, I think you should always be the one that helps out with recruiting and should always be the one. So I was kind of laid back because I was, more focused on my senior season with my guys and winning the state championship with them. But once the season ended, I took it upon myself to really be initiative and kind of be on these guys to, commit and tell them that Wisconsin's a place. And so, I definitely think it is the quarterback's responsibility to help out and kind of rally, a group together. So it's also fun because I was telling some of the guys I'm like an intern with them. I'm like a recruiting intern is what I called myself. And so I was like another guy in the
Set yourself
recruiting
up for a
department,
job.
recruiting. Yeah.
So in a little bit here, we are going to be talking about the bowl game, and we were just wondering if you're going to the bowl game.
Unfortunately, I'm not. I got to stay with my family. I wish I was going. It is close. It's in Arizona. It'd be a fun one to go to. But for me, it's I'm going to spend these last couple weeks with my family and my friends and kind of just take it all in because this will probably be the last time I live in Colorado. Because I love the state and everything, but for me, my dreams have always been to travel the country and just experience life elsewhere.
And then lead Wisconsin to the national title was added to the list. So I love that list. That's a great list.
No, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Winning the shoe, national title. Okay, I'm all on board with that. So, with all that being said, is there anything that you would like Badger fans to know about you, or is there anything that you'd like to say to Badger Nation? Going when you get to campus in January officially.
Yeah. Well, first thing I want to say to Badger fans is I'm definitely going to need some places to go eat and go tour about the city of Madison. Because obviously I saw the State Street and I saw everything on campus, but me being an explorer, I want to go experience the best places in Madison to go eat and the best places to go eat in Wisconsin, and kind of just tour and have fun. But with Badgers fans, the guy that they're getting a winner. They're getting a guy that's got some oxygen, they're getting some confidence in them, and man, I'm going to play my game, and I hope everyone can be on board with it. I might not be the highest ranked recruit that you guys have ever gotten, but I'm going to give you the most heart you guys have ever seen. And I'm going to lay it out there every game. I always play with the mentality that this could be my last game ever. So I'm just excited to let them see that for themselves. And, hopefully I see a lot of LaCrue jerseys in the stands. Hopefully you get some new blackout jerseys too, which I think could be exciting.
Yes,
And,
campaign for that. We will definitely sign that petition.
Don't worry. I've been on it. I've been on it for a little while now. But
and the black helmets too. We want to see the black helmets back.
Yeah.
Oh no, we just trust. And I'm excited for everyone just to see the top player I am because I know I'm special. So it'll be good.
All right, we had a guy who watches our show pretty regularly. Maybe our biggest fan of our show. Taylor asked, "What are your hobbies outside of football?"
Ooh, so I like to golf. I wouldn't say I'm the best, but golfing is fun. I'm a pretty good wakeboarder. When I was younger, I don't do snowboarding anymore, but when I was younger, I thought I was going to be a professional snowboarder. I competed Olympically when I was like 7 to 9. And I didn't believe it either until I forgot about it for a while. And
Colorado, I should have just guessed that you were skiing or snowboarding.
Yeah, but I love spending time with my family and my friends, and something that I'm not too proud of, but I really like to do it as I love to cook. I like being my own little chef. No. I mean, I get it. I don't like to publicly say that because I'm not like a Gordon Ramsay. I'm not anything special. But I think cooking lets me be in my own space and allows me to do my thing. And I love being outdoors. Anytime I can get outdoors, go for a hike and kind of just be out there, go for a run with my dogs, and just kind of experience that. Look at the stars and look at the constellations. Man, it's definitely a fun time.
You should definitely stick around in Wisconsin in the summer. Then that's when it's actually nice outside and fun to be outside.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait to get on the lake.
Summer. We're talking about summer, and I got to ask you a question real quick. You said you like golf and you want to experience summer in Wisconsin. My dad actually has a golf outing in my hometown of Kiel, Wisconsin. So if you wanted to, man, we could extend an invite, and we just act like some fools, man. You'd fit right in with all of us hooligans, just drinking, acting some fools. I'm not good at golf, so you'd beat me, but there is some hole prizes if you'd be willing.
Yeah, you guys can have fun, and I'll definitely come join. You guys can have fun with the drinks. I'll just sit there with my water and just enjoy the time and kick you guys' ass.
Great answer. Yeah.
That's usually over my birthday weekend too, so that'd be a sweet birthday present. Hang out with Cole LaCrue and watch guys make fools of themselves and get some terrible sunburn while they're drunk. I've only seen that happen several times.
Oh God.
It's a shit show, man. I won't lie to you.
Oh man.
All right, so I know this is a question that people from Wisconsin are going to want to know the answers to. How many times have you eaten at Culver's?
Oh.
In my lifetime?
Yeah.
Probably like eight times.
All right, that's
okay.
People got to know.
So he's familiar with it.
I gotta ask. Why is Culver such like a popular place? Did it originate from Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin. I want to say. I think the headquarters, which is like the southwest corner, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's headquartered in. So, but yeah, it's headquartered in Wisco for sure.
Listen, man, you're going to hear about Culver's and you're going to hear about Quick Trip. Those are the two things you're going to hear about all the time. I promise you.
Yeah.
Quick Trip is the place
I'm
to be.
looking forward to that then. Yeah, I mean Culver's. I don't mind Culver's. It's solid. I love their burgers. I'm not a big fan of their fries though. But we don't have one near me. We have one down south near the Broncos facilities and stuff. So anytime I'm down there though, I get a butter burger.
It's the way to go. It's just I don't know what it is about Culver's. Like obviously the food is good, but I feel like it's kind of becoming like a Wisconsin stereotype that people are like, oh, you're from Wisconsin, like you go to Culver's, right? Like when people come to Wisconsin, they got to go to Culver's. It's like I don't know.
I think it's pretty much equivalent to like the In-N-Out like on the West Coast, or like what's another one? I guess like Chick-fil-A down south. Not nearly as many locations, but it's kind of like the same like category. I feel like if you go to like a certain area of the country.
That's cool. Yeah. For me, I'm a big Chipotle guy, so I'm trying to work something out where I can get free Chipotle.
Nice.
Chipotle is
that's right on State Street for you. So you'll be good there.
It was the first place I visited actually when
I was just gonna say, he's like, I know, I've been there 3 times already.
I'm gonna tell you, Cole. If you want to know about Madison, Mikey, our Badger expert, he knows Madison like the back of his hand. He's the guy to talk to, man. He'll tell you everything. He'll tell you the best party spots and all that. He's the man.
I'm sure he'll be acclimated day one with his older teammates specifically. So I don't know. I wouldn't be too worried.
Yeah.
All right. Well, definitely want to thank you again for taking the time to join us. It's awesome, and I really appreciated some of your answers. Actually, most of your answers, or all of your answers, even. And I think being able to kind of humanize some of the guys that you're going to see playing on TV on Saturdays is a really good way to kind of relate the players to the fans and show that these athletes, these players are people. And like you being in college, you're going to be a student athlete. So I think it's important to have some of these conversations, especially, some of the ones like asking about, your dad and stuff like that, where it's something that's kind of a vulnerable thing so that people can see that, this is Cole LaCrue. He's going to be wearing number 18 for the Badgers, but there's a person underneath that jersey and helmet. So I appreciate your answers and being, candid and and expressing those for us and taking the time to join us. So I just want to say again, we appreciate your time and for joining us.
Thank you, man. It was a fun show, man. And anytime you guys need me again, if you need anything else, just shoot me a text. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a ride.
Yes,
awesome. Well,
we're pulling for you.
Enjoy your celebration dinner, and we would definitely love to have you back. So we'll stay in touch.
Also,
sounds good, man. You guys have a great day.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Thank you. Hey, everyone who's watching, Merry Christmas to you guys, and hope everyone just has safe holidays, and everyone get home safe and just be okay with everything. So, thank you guys once again, and I look forward to hearing you guys from you guys soon.
Awesome,
Take care,
sir.
man. Take care,
Thanks,
man. Have a
Cole.
good night.
Take care.